Welcome to Spooky Stories, the gateway to chilling tales and mysteries. Today, we delve into the enigmatic world of the Skinwalker. Deep in the heart of the Navajo Nation, a small and remote village nestled beneath the haunting silhouette of Black Mesa was known for a dark secret whispered only in hushed tones. This village, with its inhabitants living in an uneasy truce with the spirits of the land, was no stranger to the legends of skinwalkers. One summer evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the sandstone cliffs, a group of adventurous young locals gathered around a campfire. They had heard the tales of the skinwalkers since childhood, and tonight, they dared to speak its name. As the fire crackled and sparks danced into the darkened desert, Mark, a lanky young man with a mischievous glint in his eye, began to spin the tale. "You know," he whispered, "there's an old legend here that says a skinwalker can transform into any animal it desires." The group shifted uncomfortably, but they egged him on. "Go on, Mark. Tell us more." Mark's face became serious, his voice barely above a whisper. "The legend says that the skinwalker can steal the skin and the voice of its prey, leaving the victim trapped in the body of an animal. They say it's a curse for the wicked." Their campfire shadows danced eerily across the sandstone walls as they listened intently, the desert night's silence accentuating Mark's words. The group could feel the dread creeping into their hearts, but it was the perfect setting for a scary story. "Now," Mark continued, "there's a way to identify a skinwalker. Their eyes. When they transform, their eyes never change. You'll know it's them when you see those cold, unchanging eyes." As Mark finished his tale, the group shivered, a collective sense of unease filling the air. "But there's no such thing as skinwalkers, right?" Rachel, a young woman with a skeptical smile, questioned. "I don't know," Mark replied with a sly grin. "But what if there is? What if one of us was secretly a skinwalker right now?" Nervous laughter rippled through the group, but a seed of doubt had been planted. The night continued, but the atmosphere had shifted. The wind whispered through the desert, and the group couldn't shake the feeling that someone or something was watching them. In the days that followed, strange occurrences began to haunt the village. Cattle went missing, and eerie howls filled the night. Villagers woke up with scratches and bite marks on their bodies, unexplained and chilling. Fear grew, and trust dwindled. The young group that had shared the skinwalker story felt the weight of their words, and each one began to suspect the others. Rachel, in particular, had an unnerving glint in her eye. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the mesas, the group gathered at the same campfire spot. The atmosphere was thick with tension, and they knew they needed to confront the growing suspicion among them. "I don't like the way things have been going," Mark began, "and I think we all feel it. We need to find out if there's any truth to that legend, once and for all." Rachel shifted uncomfortably, but her voice was steady. "What do you suggest?" "We can test each other's eyes," Mark said. "If we're all human, our eyes should react to light normally. If they don't..." The implication hung heavily in the air as they pulled out flashlights. One by one, they took turns shining the light into each other's eyes. Their pupils contracted and expanded, just as human eyes should. The tension eased as they all proved to be human. Except for Rachel. Her eyes remained unchanged, cold and unyielding in the face of the flashlight's beam. The group gasped in horror, and Rachel smiled, a chilling, inhuman smile. "We found the skinwalker," Mark whispered, his voice trembling. Rachel's transformation was swift and unnatural. Her body contorted, her skin rippled, and before their eyes, she became a grotesque, wolf-like creature. The group screamed and scattered into the night, but the Skinwalker was quick to pursue. Welcome to Spooky Stories, where darkness and mystery reign. The young villagers' fate was sealed that night, as the Skinwalker hunted them down one by one. The legend had become all too real. As the sun began to rise, painting the desert with warm hues, the once peaceful village stood silent and abandoned. The mystery of the Skinwalker would continue to haunt the land, a terrifying tale whispered only in hushed tones, a reminder that sometimes, the legends are more than